This is the last 50-metre transect, starting at 100 metres, walking to 105 metres. This area of the littoral zone is permanently wet, even on the lowest tides. There's some evidence of old calcified worm casings and a number of gastropods. Moving along to the 110-metre mark of the littoral zone, we are now beginning to see more gastropods and limpets clinging onto the rocks. These are slow-moving algal feeders who often have a home base that they return to. It is important to remember that much of this life is under the substrate. Moving along to 115 metres, some evidence of homes to worms, of shrimp also, and small debris piles as they leave this at their front doors. There's still a bit of rock cover. Walking along now to the 120-metre mark, we can see more limpets and gastropods that are present on the rocks, and it's free of silt. There's a close-up there from the photo. Walking along now to the 125-metre mark. There continues to be very fine silty sand with a greater amount of algae on these rocks to the previous 120 metres. Silt and algae covers the rocks, making it difficult for shellfish to attach. We're now walking towards the 130-metre mark of the Transect line. With the ever-increasing sand and silt that's in this section of the Transect, in this particular quadrat, there's a 20-centimetre long black sea cucumber. The scientific name is Holothuria atra. This is an omnivore invertebrate, and it feeds on the detritus and other organic matter in the sand that is predominantly found in the Indo-Pacific region. In this zone, sponges also start to appear. They are similar to corals as they are a colony of animals with algae living on their tissue, hence the green colour. Photosynthetic algae provides oxygen and sugars for the colony. Now we've arrived at the 135-metre Transect quadrant. That's sea cucumber. There's more sea cucumbers there. In this shot there is a higher abundance of green sponges attached to the rock. Amongst the rock is another Holothuria. It is tucked into the leeward side of the rocks to protect itself from sun, winds, waves and wash. This is a behavioural adaptation to live in the littoral zone, which many other organisms exhibit to survive the harsh conditions. Sea cucumbers can survive in water temperatures up to 39 degrees. This is the 140-metre mark. As we get closer to the bottom limit of the littoral zone, macroalgae begin to appear. There is little else in that particular quadrat, as there may be increased tidal flow. Walking along our tape measure now, we're going to arrive at the 145-metre mark. An increased amount of macroalgae is in this quadrat. This species has small air sacs attached to its stem to keep it upright. We're now approaching the final 150-metre mark of our Transect line. The substrate is still very silty, with no clean exposed rock surfaces. Macroalgae cover approximately 25% inside this quadrant. The last footage that we've included in this video is the drone. We flew the drone over our Transect line, so you can see there where it started, and it goes along 50 metres. So it gives you sort of an aerial view of what we were walking through between 100 metres and 150 metres. The final video that we have here, the drone starts from the 150-metre mark where the tape ends, and we fly the drone all the way back to where we first started in the superlittoral zone. So travelling all the way along here, there's our quadrat on the left hand side. We kept it consistent and we had all the quadrats placed every 5 metres on the left hand side. the drone is slowly flying up through the littoral zone, and you can see things change very quickly. We've finally reached the top where the beach rock is, and this is where the 0-meter transect began. Thank you for watching, and I hope this was informative as a part of your assessment. Thank you.